Okay, we can record a track as mono or stereo. Mono means one signal, stereo means two. Okay, so why would I want to do that, and what exactly does that mean? In this case right here, I have a microphone plugged in. It's just one signal. Okay, so I'm going to want to record that as mono. So I'm going to select channel 1. But let's say I had something plugged into 1 and 2. Okay, so I had a microphone plugged into 1 and a microphone plugged into channel 2. And let's say those were miking the same thing, like drums, for example. I took two microphones and I put them over top of the drums. Okay, if I was going to do that, I could record them as drums 1 and drums 2, or I could record them as a single stereo track. That would be both microphones put together into one track. Okay, so you would only want to do that if you're recording two microphones that you're going to never want to separate. Okay, there are ways to separate them if you really have to, but in general, you want to record stereo track if you're never planning on separating them. So let me just show you. If I record a stereo track here, this would be 1 and 2. Okay, now I record on this track 1 and 2. Something bad is going to happen. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, look at it. I have one track with my signal and then one track here with nothing. It's empty. So that's kind of annoying to deal with. So we don't want to do that. What happened down here is better. It's one track without an empty amount of information. Right? So record as a stereo track if you're using two microphones and you're never going to want to separate that signal. You want them to stay together. Record as a mono track if you're just recording one thing at a time. Okay? Everything in this session is mono tracks, I believe. Well, probably in the drums there's an overhead. Let's look at the drum tracks. Here's the overhead for the drum. So it's called overhead and then the name of the mic I used. I did record these not as a stereo track, but two separate mono tracks. And that's fine. You can do it that way. But I could have, in this case, recorded them as a single stereo track if I wanted to. But I chose not to. I'm not sure why. It doesn't really matter. I'm getting all the information. So it's fine. But that's the difference between mono and stereo tracks.